Hey guys, so we're back. So we would normally do this lab in school, but we're gonna do a lab today, or you're gonna watch me do a lab today. Now, we're learning about the moon phases, the lunar cycle, and yesterday you watched a video on what the moon cycle is and why we have different moon phases. So we remember, or we should remember from the video, the lunar cycle lasts 29 and a half days, almost a month. So every month we see all 8 phases of the moon. And this occurs because, like the Earth does with the sun, the moon revolves around the Earth. And because the moon revolves around the Earth, we see the moon getting different amounts of light reflecting from the sun. They all move together, and that's how we get the moon cycle, or the moon phases, which is the lunar cycle. Now, in front of you, you will see all 8 moons in order. As you can see, we start with a new moon. We shouldn't have any cream, but realistically, that's hard. So we have the moon that isn't really there, our new moon. We then start the waxing phase, as you recall yesterday, where we go waxing, waxing, full. So right next to the new moon, we have the waxing crescent. Then you can see we have the first quarter moon. Then you can see we have the waxing gibbous. Then we have the full moon. Then we start the waning cycle. The waning cycle is when the moon starts to get smaller. Remember, wax on, wane off. We have the waning gibbous. We then have the third quarter or last quarter. We have the waning crescent, and then we're back to the new moon. Now, realize, in the waxing cycle, this is something you need to know. In the waxing cycle, the moon starts getting bigger, going from right to left. So notice, it starts on the right side, keeps going left until it's full. It then does the opposite. It starts to lose as it goes back. So this is the pattern that we need to keep. The leftmost side is a side that loses the light as the time goes on in the waning cycle, whereas it would build right to left in the waxing cycle. Also remember from yesterday, the new moon is always going to be where the sunlight is. So because the sunlight would be right here, the new moon is right here. If the sunlight would have been right here, these moons would have switched, the whole thing would have been the other way. It goes where the sunlight is. And remember, this happens every month. It takes about 2 weeks to complete the waxing cycle and about 2 weeks to complete the waning cycle. And that's where you get your 4 weeks, or like a month, 29 and a half days. So I wish we were in school, because you would have had a lot more fun doing this instead of watching me do it. But go into the questions and make sure you answer them and submit them. If you have any questions, message me. Bye, guys.